Hello, folks. How are you doing, everyone? Today I have a live chat with Russell White, with my rival from Ireland, and we'll have a great discussion about what is happening now in the triathlon life, about the training, about anything you want to ask. You're free to ask, but first I will give you some instructions. First, we will do some conversation, and on the end, when we will lose our conversation, we will use your questions to answer and get the flow going. So yeah, so be ready, and I'm just waiting for the invitation from Russell. Okay, here we go.
Hello,
Here is the big guy.
how you doing?
How you doing, brother?
Yeah, very good.
How is your collarbone?
Yeah, it's good. It'll be 8 weeks on Sunday, so I got an
You
X-ray.
have a yeah.
Yeah, I
I
got
have.
a
Do you have a plate there?
no operation. I guess
Okay.
it was sitting quite good, and then a lot of the doctors just didn't want any sort of non-emergency operations with everything
Okay.
in a minute. So, but it's healed really good.
Yes,
So I
it's
think
healing very good.
last X-ray was sort of 80% healed at 6.5 weeks, so I was pretty happy with that.
That's perfect.
Yep.
That's perfect. How you doing anyway? How
Yeah,
is your
good.
life now? Back
Enjoy.
home, you said when we were writing each other, you said that it's very nice to be in this time of the year home and don't be too stressful
Yeah, I've
about
never.
about Olympics and really enjoy the home. Hey.
Yeah, the past couple of years I haven't been back home at this time of the year. Like I know if everything had been going well, would maybe have done Bermuda a few weeks ago and been traveling at training camps. So it's actually been nice to come back home, and the weather's been amazing the past couple of weeks, which makes it even better. Not that I've been getting out much, but at least
Yeah.
it's not depressing being stuck inside with being wet and rainy. But
Yeah.
it's nice that
I heard.
I'd been away, sort of, I guess, training with you and different things over the winter, and you just thought you were going to race weekend after weekend. To actually have this opportunity. I feel bad sometimes saying that I'm enjoying it, but
Yeah, exactly. That I feel the same actually because people for sure is struggling
oh yeah.
both ways with the whole thing, but also economically
Hmm.
and pretty. It sounds pretty stupid that we enjoying to be home.
And it must be different for you, especially seeing the little one and the wife so much more, and
Yeah,
getting that chance
yeah,
to spend so much time together when you were going to
yeah,
be in.
exactly. Actually, I was thinking about it that since Gran Canaria I left that I supposed to travel like 4 or 5 months, and I would be just about to going home from mid of November or February,
Yeah,
so I wouldn't see my kids, my child for 3.5 months or something. That it would be pretty crazy mentally, but yeah, I'm actually enjoyed that I can see her to growing, and especially when she's so little
hmm,
and she's going like every day she's changing so much. So yeah, the
yeah.
same.
You get
And
that.
are you seeing your
Yeah,
how do you say,
nephew. No,
are you with your sister? Are you
no.
with your sister? You
She
can't see
lives in
her.
Scotland. She's in Scotland at the minute, so
Ah,
can't
okay.
here. And then, but it's the same as her. She's been able to, and even her husband, to be able to spend so much time with the kids. And it's so new and it's amazing. But she's actually a qualified doctor, and it's the end of
Okay.
maternity tomorrow. So she's been off from
Okay.
the for over a year, and to go
To
back
start
tomorrow.
working.
uh,
As she
doing it
starting working tomorrow?
tomorrow, first time after over a year, so that's going to be tough.
Cross fingers.
Yeah, so it's crazy, crazy
Good
time.
luck.
Yeah,
Yeah, you mentioned that your mother also is nurse,
yeah, she's a
and she she started working yesterday, you said.
yeah. So yesterday she started going into care homes where it was like um guaranteed coronavirus patients. So
Mm,
it's all crazy now that she was working in the district and just going into houses, and there was that potential, but nobody had tested positive at that stage that she was going to see.
okay.
But then as of
Yeah.
yesterday, she was working with those type of patients. So even at home, she's just back from work now, and she sort of stays in one half of the house, and I just
Mm.
cook her meals now and just cut down on
S-
just staying
So
away.
you have your half of house for you.
Yeah, now I just have to keep the house clean and do everything. So,
And
but
start cooking, eh?
yeah, be responsible.
Yeah.
I was
That's
getting
is
spoiled.
how long is gonna take like this separated? You don't
Uh,
know?
well, she wouldn't normally work in care homes, so she doesn't know how long she'll be in there for. She's just covering just covering the strain of on other nurses. So,
Mm.
she just has to make sure that
Okay.
2 weeks after like her last visit, and then she'll be able to be like normal again. It's not like for me, she's no symptoms or nothing. It's just precautionary. But um, my granny, who's 80, lives next door, and then I would be helping her. Like normally, my mum would have been doing groceries and helping cook and stuff, but because she's going into the nursing home, we can't take the risk. So I'll do all that, and it means that I'll just stay away from mum a bit more, so that there's no chance of me passing it on to my granny.
Yeah, yeah. So you do all the shoppings now.
Yeah, have to be
Good on you, boy.
responsible to make.
Yeah. Finally, we feel a little bit useful for a moment, right?
Yeah,
We
for
can help
once.
to others because we used to that everyone helping us with everything for our competition for the training, and I guess it's quite nice that we can help give back something.
Yeah, definitely. And even
And,
with being away so often, you sometimes come home and get spoiled just because it's a novelty being home for such a short period of time. So
yeah,
it's nice to then actually be able to be useful when I come home.
yeah, yeah. How is Ireland? I saw some stats. I don't know how is the restrictions about shopping and stuff, and if what you can do, what you can't do.
So Ireland's quite different at the minute, where the north and the south are doing slightly different things. So I
Yeah.
live in the north, which is going under sort of the same the rest of Britain and the UK, and doing their lockdown measures, and then the south of
Hmm.
Ireland have slightly different. So I think the south of Ireland had been only allowed to go exercising with a 2 kilometer restriction from your house.
Mm.
And then just last week it's been extended to 5 kilometers. So it's easing off a little. And then
Yeah.
for me in the north, I haven't been outside. I've been running outside, and I could do as much as I wanted, sort of exercise wise, but only one form of exercise a day. I haven't been biking outside because of the collarbone until it's fully healed, just because I don't want to risk anything. So I've just been on Zwift on the turbo, and
Yeah.
but restrictions, you can go. It's essential travel only. So the
Hmm.
shopping,
Yeah.
work from home if possible, and then only one form of exercise a day. But there's no restrictions
Yeah.
on they
So
don't
so
drive.
all the shop like all the shops is closed. Only the groceries, right?
Yeah, just
It's
essential
open.
for so good. So it just tends to be supermarkets really, and
Yeah.
not other things have opened up. I've actually I broke the collarbone sort of 8 weeks ago on Sunday and came straight home from America. And I think I've actually left my house 3 times. And that's been, yeah, that was to get access and
That's pretty crazy isolation, right?
yeah. So I know
Are you getting crazy about it?
not too much. I live sort of in the country and I've there's just not. I'm only maybe 5 minutes out of the town if I need to go for groceries and stuff. But
Okay.
I currently don't have a car at the minute, and with the broken collarbone, I wouldn't have been able to drive
Yeah.
any. So before Mum had been doing a lot of the shopping, but sort of as of this week, then I'll sort of get on the insurance in the car and drive and
Yeah.
start out a bit more because I'll have to take the weight and strain of keeping the house going.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be quite nice to drive around and see a little bit different scenery.
'Cause I've just been at home and thankfully the weather's been good, so it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
Just I'm not sort of stuck in a small house in a town with not much of a garden,
Yeah.
like plenty of space to get out and about and
Oh,
uh,
that's great then.
about. And then with the weather being good and I've got a dog and just chilling and
Oh, nice.
recovering from the collarbone and starting to do a bit of training the past couple of weeks.
That's great. That's great. It's nice to hear.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, last time we saw each other was in Gran Canaria. Time we were training together,
yeah,
sharing some miles on the
yeah.
bike, especially, and some laps on the pool. I couldn't do too much running, but you were doing pretty good. And since that, you had a couple of races internationally. I think in South America, right? How
Yeah.
was that trip was going?
It was okay. I think actually I'm probably got the most races out of anyone this season. I think I raced like 5 times.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there's some guys won't definitely won't get that many races this year
no,
where things are going. So it's actually nice to have a break. Obviously not a break of the collarbone, but a break from racing.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but I did my first race. So the situation that I was in was I'm still in the Olympic simulation, just about like sort of the last slot. But I was trying to just increase my world ranking to get on the World Cup and World Series start lists. So I was racing just a couple of Continental Cup races, and I think I was top 10 in all but one of them. There was this, I guess Cuba was a bit of drama in Cuba.
Yeah, yeah, I heard something, but not the full version. So come on, talk me your version. What's happened there on the
Oh
swim? I heard someone cut the course. So
yeah, so the full version of Cuba. It was an Olympic distance, and the swim we had to swim to the start line, which was sort of 500 meters from the swim exit. So we swam out the deep water start and got out of the water as they started set up the start line. And the swim course was a further 500 meters to two turn buoys, and then a full kilometer back to the exit. So just like an upside down J. And
mm-hmm,
but we couldn't see the two buoys from the start line, so we knew it was
mm-hmm,
roughly a straight line, but it just slightly curved, so we couldn't see them. And it just went out fast, and everybody was just following feet. And we eventually were coming up to the buoys, and I was sort of on the right hand side of the pack. And at the last minute, I just seen a few guys just dart to the right hand side, and I looked and seen there was another swim buoy, and I was like, "Oh,
mm-hmm.
right, everybody's aiming for boy number two." So I went.
Okay, yeah,
So when I seen the guys to my right shoulder just go for the first boy,
for the right one. Yeah,
I need to change direction quick. So I changed direction quick, got round boy one with only maybe sort of two, three people at the time. And then maybe further people back realised that that was boy one. But as we came around boy one and boy two, we were then so far off the pack that had just
Mm.
found boy two.
There
Um,
was many people going on the second buoy.
yeah, like the majority of the field, you're talking maybe 80%. I was sort of sitting in about fourth, fifth place coming up to the boys until I cut right. But I cut right. I was more or less at boy two,
Okay.
so I nearly had to go the whole
Holy
way
shit.
to one, back to two.
Yeah.
The only safe
So, so
was,
you were second guy who was going right, like
yeah,
just the guy in front of you
yeah.
was who was it? Diego from.
So it was Bob Haller was on my right shoulder and he went first. And
Okay,
then there was Diego Moya from
Diego, yeah, yeah, because I saw like you and Diego Moa. Yeah, I know you are good swimmers, so you
yeah,
should be somewhere on the front,
yeah,
and suddenly you were like in the middle or something
yeah.
going
So
backwards, right?
and we would never have any not other race we would not have swam back on, but because then from boy two to the exit was a full kilometer and just a straight
Yeah, so
um
so far away.
yeah, so Moya went in front of me and just did a massive pull and pulled us across and we sort of were getting onto the stragglers and then we were just gradually working the way through the draft. Um and we exited sort of just mid pack, but it was all together at that stage, so it finally made it across. And we were in the
Mm.
pack, I guess. Someone else had came up beside me and was like, they definitely cut the first boy, didn't they? And I was like, yeah, it's gonna be easy race. There was only like six of us that went round. Just finish and see what happens. So we finished. I think I finished ninth overall.
Yeah.
I'd had a bit of a calf strain leading into that race, so I knew I wasn't in
Mm.
sort of good 10K shape, but I came in ninth, but wasn't bothered because I was trying to work out who had cut the boy out of the first
Yeah.
pack.
Yeah.
So I knew Moya was in my pack, so and he had been in front of me for most of the run. So my aim was like, I'll get in front of Moya, and that'll be enough to make the podium.
Yeah.
Uh, and we just crossed the line, and a few of us were like, everybody's cut that first swim boy, and then the marshals were just sort of said, uh, with no
What
evidence.
what can yeah, yeah,
I think it was just a mess.
yeah,
There was a guy at the first boy that was recording the footage for
yeah.
the swim behavior, but one of the boys started moving, so he put the camera down and jumped in to hold the boy. So then there was no evidence, and then you're just like, oh, this is getting stupid. Um,
Oh,
so and then I guess yesterday or the day before, then there was a press release that they couldn't, although we made complaints and said names that basically the top eight hadn't went round the first swim boy, and then there was a few through the field. But I think the ITU came up with a decision that everybody got a certain amount of points. I don't know exactly, but maybe around eighth place. So it didn't actually affect me much. I didn't really move up. It just means that the people in front of me didn't gain points when they shouldn't have. But
okay. So they didn't get point, and but you have still the same points as you have.
yeah, I think they shared the points equally, and it worked out at like 163 points. So everybody got points.
Mm.
But the crazy thing is, some people then that did cut the boy that were like further down that wouldn't have got 163 points in the day ended up getting more points than they should have. But I guess it just means that the guys sort of at the top that did shoot. Um, to be fair, none of it was intentional. Like nobody did it on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It was just
Yeah. Yeah.
it was laid out and it was a mistake.
Yeah.
Everybody followed round, but I
I
guess
I know what is it. I sometimes going on the wrong boy.
yeah,
Boy. Like in Dominican Republic when I was going back to the shore and I was going different direction and then I realized everyone is going right, so I had
yeah.
to go back.
But you sometimes have more responsibility than most people because you're usually leading
Yeah,
it.
but, I'm not always sure I should be the most responsible. I'm not sure if I see the boy properly. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's quite responsibility what you're doing. I'm get sometimes stressed like, oh shit, am I going right?
yeah,
Especially I remember on the Olympics I wasn't in Rio because it was really choppy and the light was really bright. So I was like, I don't know if I should go one further up and then turn back, or I don't know. So yeah, sometimes you are like, oh, I will see what's happened.
yeah, yeah. No, when
Yeah,
you're leading so many of them, then yeah, it's tricky, especially when
yeah,
the rise or even waves or anything or
yeah, waves, yeah,
yeah. But are you getting much swimming now in
yeah. I
Slovakia or what's the
yeah.
situation?
Well, I'm doing a little bit of in a lake swimming, so it's quite
What
cold as you
what's the
can imagine. But
what,
what's the temperature?
yeah,
Yeah, so I heard that apparently last week was like 17 degrees, but this week is a little bit colder, so it should be like 16. And but first time when I started, it was like 12 degrees.
oh wow,
I did like 20-25 minutes, and it was freezing. But I had the full gear,
Glo-
gloves, shoes, hat on,
yeah,
full wetsuit. So it was quite fine. Like it's just my face was like freezing crazy,
yeah,
but everything others was really good.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, and so I did like 5 times swimming, and yeah, tomorrow I should do some more. And I was trying, like, I will see, maybe I want to do some big swim in next few weeks, so we'll see.
what's a big swim in Richard Vargas terms?
Yeah, well, my
10K.
my the longest session was like 12K,
Okay.
so I would love to beat that,
12
just
open.
for the fun.
Oh yeah, super fun. I can only
Yeah,
imagine.
super fun. Yeah, but the longest swim now I did like 3.6K,
Okay,
3.7. So
that's a lot.
I'm
That's a
not
lot more
really,
than
uh, yeah, I'm not in a shape to do that, but like it's swim
that's.
fitness. Yeah.
But nobody's
So
really going to be in swim shape. It'll be interesting when races come back to see what
I think,
happens with everybody
yeah,
swim form.
I think for the natural swimmers like us, it will be good.
Yeah, it definitely helps the more natural swimmers. Um,
Yeah.
even though for a lot of us probably haven't spent this long out of a swimming pool in our lives, but I think once you get the feeling back in the water, it shouldn't be too bad as long as fitness is kept up.
No, I didn't swim like 5 6 weeks or 5 weeks since
Yeah,
Australia. And because I did some crazy exercises I showed on my Instagram,
yeah,
I felt really good. I felt really good. Like my arms were strong, and I felt like I didn't miss nothing. I feel good. Like, of course, if I would go full gas, I wouldn't swim the same time. But like by feeling, I was perfect.
okay,
I felt really good the whole session.
yeah,
So it's good advice that just even
doing,
even you don't get in the pool, and you keep like doing some kind of exercise, visualization, and just doing the same stuff. That helps a lot.
yeah,
Like I know when I was like injured so many times, and I was just preparing for my run, and I could go back really quick. Actually, not my best, but pretty close.
that's good.
It's,
And
it's, it's, it's quite fun. Yeah.
you had mentioned about your injury in Gran Canaria. Is that all
Yeah.
set? Are you all good now?
Yeah, well, yeah, it was since November. I had
Yeah,
a hamstring, as you know, and yeah, in Gran Canaria. When you left, that was like 20th of January.
yeah,
I was just like my physio told me just keep running, keep exercise and running like really very little, like 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Just get the like stronger the muscle. So every week I was just like running 15 minutes per day and then just building up and and then on start of February I did longer longer runs, like the maximum was like 50 minutes. And I did some sessions before India. I did some session and I felt pretty good on the track. I was
Yeah.
running quite good times, and then I was going to India. And as you know the story in India, it was very crazy. So yeah, they we just we just we just we were really surprised that they changed for the duathlon because day before the we were on the familiarization, and yeah, the waves was like a little bit rough, but like nothing compared to Mululaba or Miyazaki, just a
Yeah.
standard waves. But what the crazy thing was that we supposed to swim 750 meters one way, one boy, and then
Okay.
turn back, and it was like that sounds pretty crazy. And day before, lots of Indian athletes get joined
Yeah.
for the race, and they had no uniform. They was just in a t-shirts and shorts, just like for running. No, they and even in the morning for the race, they were like they already like looks like they already knew that it's not gonna be triathlon for sure. And like I don't want to underestimate anyone, but like I would be really worried to let them swim even
Yeah.
500 meters, and it was like 30
Yeah.
of them. So it started like make all sense that the organization was already know that duathlon, triathlon will never happen. It will
Yeah.
be always duathlon. So that really pissed me off that I went to the technical delegate and like come on, like let's talk, guys, make some decision, like maybe we can do like short lap or something, but let's do triathlon for the points. We like 40 international athletes came here just to compete triathlon. No one comes
Yeah.
here to duathlon. Is nothing help us for the Olympic points and stuff. So but he said he made the decision 2 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning. No discussion.
And
No discussion.
the waves weren't that bad.
No, we like I was like, please go with me there and show me. And I was with the Japanese. They were there by the beach when I was
Yeah.
going with Ladi there, and the waves was like, yes, it was waves, but not
Yeah.
crazy. Miyazaki was much
Yeah.
much worse.
And like, like
Yeah, or Dominican Republic, there was like proper big wave, but yeah, everyone can swim, so it's no problem. And they said like, no, it's too dangerous. Like, what do you mean it's too dangerous? By which conditions? Like, which form? So, and I was really like upset that they don't want to discuss with us anything, and even with the girls. And the other thing, what was crazy, that we were cycling and running on the same lap, like everything was doing the
okay, so
same.
no
Yeah,
further last
and plus there was 11 laps on the
11.
bike, and it was not 11 laps, and there was no bike run
Yeah.
scenario or run bike. So we were passing people on the bike while they were running on the small road, and the cows was going opposite way. Honestly, cows, bulls,
Cars.
no joke. And sometimes like a
Okay.
scooter, some runners, yeah, some bikers, like going to work or
So
something, I don't know.
nice.
Yeah, it was like they want to keep us safe, but it
Yeah.
was extreme. Plus, like I think 1 hour later, the girls started and ran on the same course like all we
Okay.
did.
So two.
So there were like two competition was like girls running, we were cycling, some of us was running, then we were running, they were cycling, cows was running. I don't know what, it was crazy, man. It was like, well, why I'm
Did you ever
racing?
go back?
I didn't want to race. I said we tried to like block the race, like we gonna protest because
Yeah.
this is crazy. But of course, we didn't want to make problems and stuff, so I was running. And but this is really shameful that this some parts of the people. I'm not saying I really like all the Indians. It was a great experience. All Indian triathletes was really nice. They were talking with me and stuff, but the technical delegate and the organizer, they messed up big
Yeah.
time. And I hope they will pay for it. They should never organize, like the same people should never organize nothing. It should take
Yeah.
their
It sounds.
position out. Impossible, impossible. Because like how much money you would spend, how much energy, how
Yeah.
much preparation. I could injure myself like you, and I would
Yeah.
like finish because their cow was on the
Yeah.
road, or we were going opposite way with the girls, or I don't
The
know.
swim.
I went there and put so much like people and me energy, paying accommodation and flights there, but like everything around, and they didn't see this like a problem to go to cheat on us, to go there for triathlon and make
Yeah.
the
The
duathlon.
swimming sounds as if it would have been the safest part of the race.
Yeah, yeah. It's just from the point that we would have different
Yeah.
points, you know.
And then what was
So yeah, so you were asking about my injury, and I was talking about my race. Yeah, and then I injured my calf, so I was going bloody to Australia, and I couldn't run properly for 3 weeks, and try to get a little bit aqua jogging and put myself together mentally and just train whatever I can. And yeah, was going to Mulaba. And yeah, and yeah, I tried my best. And so for me it's quite good that now I'm going back with my running, and I feel much stronger with my food. So I'm doing pretty good now.
Yeah, it's nice. It's good opportunity to have a rest and get the body back for you.
Yeah,
Give you.
definitely. Definitely. Do you think when will be your first race?
It's hard to know. I think by the time any of the racing starts, like I'll be over my collarbone. I'll be just as fit as anyone else to start again. But it just, I guess nobody really knows. Um, it'll be interesting if it starts out sort of the end of season World Cups, but does anybody really want to head then back towards Asia after all this to start doing some races in October time? You know, it's interesting. It's interesting now that the
Mm,
grand final has already been cancelled. So like the World Series is the
yeah, I
world.
know.
There's not going to be a World
Big
Series, and then
mountain.
then they're talking about opportunities and but if they start doing World Cups, the top World Series guys are going to want to start racing at some point this year. So if there's only World Cups left, the top guys are going to start racing the World Cups, and then lower ranked athletes won't get World Cup starts. So it will be very interesting to see what way it pans out at the end of the season. If there is going to be any races in 2020.
Yeah, it's yeah, nobody knows, and even I heard that I don't know if even this year will be any qualification race for the next
Yeah,
year.
it might be worth just starting afresh as of 1st of January, and just when the Olympics
Yeah.
are sort of more or less the same date as they were going to be, give or take a day or two. You know, if you just
Mm.
almost pretend that it's 2021's everything that was planned for 2022, so and the qualification just
Yeah.
start from the 1st of January until the Olympics, then I guess that's the fair thing. Or else just yeah, it's hard to know. It's hard to make decisions when nobody knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Like people asking me what is gonna happen, when we will start racing, and I think even the organizers,
No,
nobody knows when we will start.
because like you have to think when the
Yeah.
ITU are planning, they haven't take every single country into account, and everyone's on a different time. Everyone's different, working on a different schedule. Some people are able to train, other people. So, um, it's pretty insane. Like you can't really start saying, okay, we can race in New Zealand because things seem to be going well over there, but then nobody can travel to New Zealand, and it's only others can race. So,
Yeah. Yeah, not everyone can race, and even I heard that like traveling will be very expensive and very hard for to get like traveling
yeah,
purpose,
I
get
guess a lot of the
allowed.
airlines are going to have to try and make back a lot of money that they lost. So you could expect a lot of and hotels as well. Um, they'll have so much business,
Yeah.
so you might find that everything starts putting the money or the prices up, and just makes it so much harder, especially for us, being on the road nearly all year round. So it'll be
I I I I think I think Brownlee's, Gomez, Frodeno should come together and give us some money, like Frodeno, Federer and
yeah,
Nadal put some money, people out of top 100 to support them in these difficult
yeah.
times.
That
How funny
I,
would be
I
that,
can't I
right?
can't imagine a few tight Yorkshire men giving up some money.
Yeah, tight.
Yeah,
No, that would be funny.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
pretty crazy. But yeah, it would be, yeah, because I had like a tennis player, like they will, if you are out of top 100, you will like they will have difficult to survive, do sport and stuff. And what about
I
triathletes?
know.
Like we're doing shit,
Yeah,
zero money, like on the prize money or anything, and yeah, we just it's gonna be pretty bad for lots of people to stay in the sport, and just yeah, it will be very difficult, I
yeah, and
think.
even sponsors, like even sponsors that want to
Yeah,
help
sponsors.
athletes are struggling because their businesses aren't going to be going as well unless you own Zwift or something like that
Yeah,
that's made a fortune out of this scenario. But
yeah, yeah. Are you doing
yeah,
Swift?
I've been doing it. I guess with the collarbone, the one thing that I was able to do was just sit on the turbo, and then after a few weeks, I was able to take my arm out of the sling, and so that's the one thing I've been doing the most of. And then Zwift.
Well, is it fun? Is it keeps you motivated and stuff?
Fun, I don't know if it's the right word, but it's a different motivation than just sitting on a turbo staring at a wall. The the opportunity.
Yeah. Are you doing some
Yeah,
racing as well,
I've
or
done a
or
few
you can't?
races. I don't know how accurate everybody's power meters and their weights are. I'm sure. Yeah,
And wait.
there's a few sort of sub 60 guys that would be a bit dubious. Um, good fun. Like even
Yeah,
you nearly just got to forget about the results of some of the races and just look at it as a good workout. And but
yeah,
it's even nice
exactly.
that I've been able to organize meetups and ride with people and guys that I went to university with that I haven't ridden a group ride
Yeah.
with in years. So like the other day I was riding with guys I went to uni with and just done a WhatsApp call together and just as if we're side by side and just
Oh
catching
wow,
up that way. So it's just something different. Yeah.
that is very cool. Yeah, I tried to get on the Swift, but I don't know, my notebook is like don't want to get with the Bluetooth
Okay.
synchronized with my power meter and with the car, not just a power meter and ANT plus. So I couldn't find it. So yeah, I have Swift. I would love to do it, but it's not working. And plus, if I want to like do that big races like
Yeah.
triathlon series, I would have to have
Oh,
I
smart.
think better
Yeah.
trainer. Yeah, smart trainer. I don't have smart
Okay.
trainer, so it would I would have to do some money investment to get
Yeah.
racing. But yeah, I don't need to like. I would love to do it, but I can go outside. We don't have restriction, and like we meet with the friends, and yeah, we have some good rides done.
So you're
So it's
able.
good
I like
fun.
photos like you've
Now
been with groups on the bike.
yeah, but we have
Yeah.
like a mask on, and like we should be not too many, but yeah, it's getting better and better now. Like our government is releasing, we can do much more things, and now it's pretty safe because last week we had just like every day like 1, 6, 5 people
Okay.
affected per day. No, like very little deaths. We have only 20 deaths in total, and the most is because in one older house they were not doing testing, and there were lots of old people just from one older house
Yeah.
get died. So we would be like we are one of the
That's
best
good.
countries for the in Europe, the
Yeah.
safest. So that's why now we can do so much more things because we stop like everything really from
Yeah.
the start. So we
That's
are
good
really
because
lucky
like
there.
it is nice that I have the opportunity when the collarbone's right that I can go outside, but I won't. I still currently wouldn't be allowed to meet up with anyone. It would just be solo riding.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
so tricky. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard. It must
Yeah.
be so
It's
hard.
crazy. Just everybody's in a different boat, but like I guess it makes triathlon seem so small and irrelevant at times when everything like this is going
Yeah,
on.
yeah, exactly. What did I wanted to ask? Yeah, yeah. What last time when you were going to
Yeah.
Sarasota, right? And you were quite pissed that your race was cancelled, right? What was your thought at that time?
Um, I guess it was difficult because Sarasota got cancelled and Malulaba went ahead, and then I was just I didn't know what was going to happen because at that stage nobody knew if it was going to be the whole season or if it was just going to be like these two races might make a difference.
Yeah,
And it was at the time it was crazy because everything was happening and everything was changing every day. You know, there was two races in Sarasota, so I was staying in Florida, and there was two races back to back. There was one Continental Cup and one um, World Cup, and the World Cup was a week after, but it got cancelled first. And then we were like going to bed, getting ready to drive from Claremont to Sarasota to get ready for the race like in 2 days' time for the Continental Cup. And then in the middle of the night, got an email that it
mm,
was cancelled as well. So sort of then we sort of decided, okay, we'll
It
just stay
was
in Florida. We'll have a training camp. We'll get ready for Brasilia World Cup for Bermuda, and then we were like, right, we'll just
we were, you know, we
yeah,
were with Laddie in Australia, and yeah, he was in contact with you, and he was telling me all this. They were like, "You are crazy!" Like I had in my head like this virus is gonna be crazy. Like everything is gonna stop. Like 2 weeks or one
yeah,
week before Murulaba, I start see it like how it goes, how it's spreading, and like, oh shit, man, no Olympics is happening. Like because I was like checking and see like all around the world what is happening, and it was just like
yeah.
very clear,
But
like
like
is nothing's gonna
at
happen
the
this
time,
year.
we
It's crazy. And no, and everyone I talked to, they were like, "What are you talking about? Like, we go to New Plymouth after this. We go to Brazil." And I was like, "I'm getting my flights back home. Like, nothing
yeah,
happening for sure." And they were like, What I'm
and
talking about, you know?" So it was quite fun to see
yeah, it was
like some people
because
like
I
didn't
was
see
talking to
this
Laddie
coming.
and you in Australia, and you were saying some things, but we were in America and in Florida, and Florida just Claremont, we just felt like we were in a little bubble, and like the American media were playing it down.
Yeah,
And it wasn't good.
it's the same in Murulaba.
And
Like the people was just didn't care,
yeah,
just go outside, just doing the thing. There was no, but you see like Italy that time it was going crazy. And I if you don't do like stop everything, it's
yeah,
just go ballistic
hmm
in the country. But like I don't know, Australia, it was, I don't know if it's the temperature, the humidity or something, but it didn't spread that much there. It's
yeah,
really safe there.
yeah. But we when we were in America, we just didn't know. I guess it was starting to get worse at home in Ireland, and the UK, and they were hearing all about Italy and getting all that news, and then we were out in America and Trump were just like, oh, it's not too bad, and it's just on a few cruise ships in New York and LA. Yeah,
It's a flu. It's
take
a
some
seasonal flu.
disinfectant, it's all good. Um, and then just gradually, like things started getting worse in Europe, and it was Trump started then um, banning travel, and we were just like, right, change the flights. We're getting out as soon as possible. Um, and then that's when I broke my
Yeah,
collarbone.
yeah.
We'd booked the flights to leave on the Monday. On Friday, we booked flights for Monday because the two races got cancelled. We're like, we'll just go on a long spin on Sunday, pack the bikes, and just fly out the next day. And maybe 300 meters from the front door of the house, and I just went, and yeah, at first I thought the chain just came off, and I just went down, just went over the handlebars, but I snapped my chainstay in half, and my the chainstay,
Wow.
like, it didn't even hit the ground, so I'm thinking maybe the frame was cracked. And when I went to put the power
Hmm.
down, then the frame cracked and pulled the chain off, and I went over the handlebars. So, but then you sort
Oh
of,
shit.
if I had been racing in Sarasota that day that I was supposed to, it could have happened in a race. It could have, if the races hadn't
Yeah.
been cancelled, it could have been happened in a more important race. So, it's one of those things. But
Mm.
I guess the timing of a broken collarbone couldn't happen at a better time for an athlete when there's nobody,
Yeah.
um, no races and nobody's even able to train. Like, I wouldn't really have believed if someone had said you break your collarbone and nobody else in the world is able to swim at the same time. It just seems crazy.
Mm. That is, yeah, that's, it's like, it's like some saying that like the happiness, like you're lucky or you're unlucky, is
Yeah,
really relevant, you know. You're lucky you're in America, but you're
yeah,
unlucky that you crash you're lucky that it's coronavirus, but you're unlucky you
Yeah,
stay at home. It's just like
yeah.
it's really relevant,
That's-
right? It's so funny to see like
I
how
know.
close is it, right?
Yeah, everything just, I don't know. You could say everything happens for a reason, but at the same time, it's just, it is just luck. It's just fluke. Like it could have been a lot worse, um, but
Yeah,
it's not too bad.
yeah,
So.
yeah, yeah. So you had really like bad luck, and you have to be really like upset that like everything is going
Yeah,
down
it,
just
it was a crazy
know.
week because then, we changed the flights. I broke, came off the bike, broke the collarbone, straight to A&E in America. And the last place I wanted to be was a hospital. Um, and then I didn't know if I needed surgery or whatever, so I was just talking to the doctors, and it's like, I have a flight in less than 24 hours. Just whatever you need to do, just patch me up. I need to get on that flight. Don't do anything. Um, and the
Hmm.
guys I was with packed my bag while I was at the hospital, and we had other Triathlon Ireland staff there that were like super good at just sort of looking after me in the hospital and stuff, which was good. And then it was
Mm.
just so stressful. It went from like less than 24 hours. I'd broke a collarbone, been to NE, got a flight, and we're like flying. The only flights we could get was through Canada, and then Canada started like closing their borders. So then the flights after us were starting to get
Oh,
cancelled, and we were in the last flight from America to Canada, and I'm like not able to lift any of my bags, and the guys are just carrying us. Like, just get me home. Like we need to get out of America. We just thought we were going to be stuck for months, that we'll never get out if we don't make it out that one day. So yeah,
it's just like a
yeah, you
movie,
keep
right?
all of a sudden, the pressure of the racing sort of like dropped because the races got cancelled. But then it was just waves of emotion. You were sort of annoyed that the races got cancelled. Then you realize that, there's much more serious things happening in the world. So you just accept it. And then you break a collarbone, and then you feel real selfish. You're like, oh, why did it have to happen to me? And then people are
Yeah,
like, perfect timing. And you're like, I guess so. It's good timing. Then you just constantly, your mood's
yeah,
changing. So it was a pretty crazy 24 hours.
yeah, yeah. Brian is asking if it was big pain during the flight.
Not too much actually. I guess um, the American the A&E in America prescribed pretty good painkillers. Uh, I don't yeah
Good
I don't
drugs
think I would have been
there.
able to get them at home. But they definitely made flying a lot easier.
You might race with
Yeah,
that
I'll maybe have to ask
collarbone.
what they were. No, just yeah, it wasn't too bad. I think even just the adrenaline and everything happening so fast, and I didn't really think about it too much. Just got on the flight, tried to get to sleep, and that was it. And I was back home, and yeah, so it wasn't too painful. At least I would have struggled if I was by myself, but with other two Irish triathletes, James and Colin, and they were super, just helping pack all my
Yeah,
stuff and carrying all my luggage. So it was much easier traveling with a group of three.
that's nice from them. Yeah, it's quite nice. If you would have to go by yourself,
No,
like no
you couldn't do
support,
it. But
the things would be
yeah,
even worse.
but it could happen. There's times where I think a couple of years ago in Yokohama, when I think we were in the same hotel, and
Yeah,
we were quite far away
yeah,
from the race course, and it was the day that it rained and there was a few
yes.
crashes, and I had crashed and broke my wheel with like no staff, no other
Uh-huh.
athletes. You walk the whole way from. Thankfully, I wasn't injured that day, but sort of on those occasions, you like, if I had a broke a bone, you know, how would I have got from the race course, the hotel, to pack a bike, to fly home all by myself? But no, it's good to have those sort of
Yeah,
people around you that support, and I think that's the important thing in triathlon sometimes. It's an individual sport, but there's definitely it's good to have a good team around you.
It's a risky
Yeah,
sport if you don't have a team.
yeah,
Yeah, but it's nice that like we are pretty really good community. Even we are in a pro level that we are like rivals, but I guess we each other help in the
yeah,
bad
definitely. Like I
times.
guess even last
It
year
matters.
that was really relevant when I guess I left or got thrown out of my training group. um, all of a sudden, and then you're
Yeah,
like, oh, you know what's going to happen, and then I guess that was our first camp together. You reached out, um, and basically invited me to San Moritz straight away, and you know it's crazy. I guess me and you are nearly competing for a similar spot, one of the last spots, but
yeah,
being prepared to sort of just reach out and invite someone, help them in difficult, pretty good.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, we fight to each other, and at the moment, it's like really about the one sport, but you against another
Yeah,
100 athletes, so it's like one in time. Like I'm gonna have three good races, and suddenly I will be in 15 position different, and I'm gonna
yeah,
fight with other people, or opposite like you're gonna do three good races, and suddenly I'm not gonna fight with you. It's all also relevant that like you don't know. You just want to get better and get the best out of yourself, and if that's been like uh be on the podium, be qualifying or whatever, that's what you where you're
yeah,
supposed to be, and not the way that like, oh, I'm not gonna help each other. We're gonna like fight against each other. Do like I will broke your bike or something. Like on the race, we don't give
no,
anything. We don't help too much each other. But yeah,
no, it's interesting. Yeah.
it's funny.
What's Brian asking now? When did you guys think racing will return, and how's your training program changed much at the moment? When do you think the racing will come back?
Yeah, I have no clue. I think maybe some races, maybe continental cups probably first, because it would like if Europe can get do something, you can do something here, but without like points, just keep racing. Maybe Asia will race. It depends where we'll be
Yeah,
able to race. And yes, as you said, end of or next year we might get, but with the virus, you never know. We might get the second wave, and it will all stops in November. Like I heard that they want to do Abu Dhabi in November and stuff, but like look, like when the weather get a little bit worse, it will be more pronate that the virus will be even like spreading
yeah,
much quicker. I don't think is not spreading in humid and hot weather, but it's much less time on the floor, on the you know on the steel and stuff is also touching, so this is also something to think about. And yeah, what was the other question? That
how's training?
your training program changed? Yeah, well, so I'm just my priority to get healthy
Yeah,
with my running, and I'm working with my physio a little bit, and yeah, getting strong glutes. And so I'm building up my running, a little bit swimming because the water is still quite cold. So I do just like 2 times, 3 times
yeah,
max swimming a week, 2 times. So I don't worry too much about swimming if it's too cold. And what I can do is cycling. So I did like last 5 weeks lots of cycling, and I did every week some kind of challenge for myself. And yeah, I was building up like first week I did like
yeah,
160K, Second week I did like 6 hours on the mountain bike,
Yeah,
quite hard. Like that was one of the most intensive session for
yeah,
my years. Like high heart rate for a
yeah.
long time. So that was pretty hard. And then another week I did 300k cycling, like 35
You'll
average
be, you'll be like the
kilometer an
Norwegians.
hour. Yeah, is it? Yeah, if you prepare yourself, it's not that
No,
hard, you know. Like I, yeah. I mean, it's not easy,
no. I've done 300.
if it's more mental
Yeah,
thing, you know.
I've done 200k before, but I definitely would like to increase it. I think that's the important thing with no racing coming up. Um, Setting challenges, something that's going to motivate. Like even talking to another friend, and they were saying about people doing like 5k times and different things, but those are things that you can do in your normal season, like I'm not that aren't going to mess things
No,
up.
no.
Whereas, a challenge like running somewhere different or you doing 6 hours in a mountain bike, that's not something you would have had the opportunity to do in the middle of the season or even winter training. So I think it's important.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's winter, it's cold. You don't want
no.
to be 6 hours on,
So it's a
you
good
know.
opportunity now to try slightly different things and things you wouldn't normally do that
Yeah,
are still going to get you fit and you're still going to benefit from, but that you've maybe wanted to do for a while, but it's just not been feasible in season or when you're actually preparing for races.
exactly. Your sister is
She's
asking.
asking, has my dad changed in lockdown compared to racing? I think she probably knows that I don't have the best dad at the best of times, but no, it hasn't really changed much. I guess now I'm starting to cook more, so it's not really very adventurous.
Yeah, yeah, not
No, I think
restaurants.
that's the thing when you're on the road so much, you sometimes eat out. Even especially around races when you're staying in a hotel and you can't cook for yourself. Uh, it's crazy how often or how much even money you spend on restaurants. I know some
Yeah,
athletes will bring rice
yeah,
cookers and things like that, but you know that would cause me more stress trying to go out and find ingredients and make sure that I could cook stuff in a hotel room. Sometimes just going down Italian and keeping it simple is the easiest thing. So
yeah,
that's definitely changed. What about your dad? You're still keep
yeah. Yeah, I'm trying as much as possible
yeah,
plant based. And my wife, she's a
yeah.
great cooker, and she has a new hobby, and she's doing
Oh,
like baking a
yeah.
bread her own. So that is
Mhm.
pretty fun, and yeah, it's quite hard actually, but she's doing good job. So I eat in her bread. How happen is
No,
that happen, you know? And we did some gardening, and we waiting for some other fruits and veggies. So we looking
also, you're
forward
growing
to
your own
that.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
on the
nice.
balcony. But we did quite like it's lots of stuff here, like lemon and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's glassed it, so it can get
Okay,
really
like a
hot there
greenhouse.
during the
Yeah.
day. So yeah, like a greenhouse.
No, that's
Yes,
cool.
yes. You have a question. Why did you get
Why did
part
I
of the
part with Origin?
origin?
It wasn't my choice. I guess the week before Edmonton last year, I was just called into a meeting with the coach from Origin and just asked to leave, and I wasn't given much details. I was told I knew what the reason was, but um, I don't really know. Everything had been going okay. I hadn't seen the coach since Malulaba, New Plymouth, because I'd just been on the road and doing different races and hadn't really even been with the group. So there wasn't too much I could have done wrong. but there was clearly a sort of difference in
Yeah,
opinion, and it was quite a stressful time because it was the week leading into Edmonton, so I had to change the whole season. I guess I rebooked my flights. I was supposed to go. I was in Boulder at the time, and I was supposed to go Boulder, Edmonton, back to Boulder, but I just flew home from Edmonton, and then just got everything in place, and then that's when you invited me up to St. Moritz. So went from Edmonton home, and then from home to St. Moritz, and then we were together up there until Tokyo. Was it Tokyo? Yeah, yeah, lead up to Tokyo.
yeah,
So
yeah. It was a it was a
yeah,
great
I
camp, eh?
definitely want to go back. That's one of the things I probably like miss the most out of the season. Like you enjoy the racing and the traveling, but sometimes those training camps, especially at altitude, are somewhere amazing as St. Moritz. Those are the highlights of the season. Um, for me anyway.
Yeah. I'm gonna really miss this year San
Yeah,
Moritz for sure. It's such a great vibe there, and you feel such a power. Like you have so much energy, power there, and want to train as much as possible. It's a
yeah,
great
it was really
place.
cool. It was the first time I'd been up, and yeah, it was definitely a great opportunity to come up, and I guess super expensive, but unbelievable training.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So I think we've probably
Should,
talked before, but maintaining
what
swim fitness. I was quite interested that you were saying that
yeah,
the the band work was so effective being out of the water.
yeah, yeah. I think there is two things. Like the first is overall fitness. Like keep overall fitness. So whatever cycling, running, jumping,
Yeah.
whatever it is, like overall fitness, that's gonna help you to get back quicker. And then the second thing is just like just tune up the muscles and get them strong, get the shoulders and flexibility, and you actually might really get stronger. Like I remember when I was like kid, and one of my friend, he couldn't swim uh, because he broke, I don't know what he has injury, but he couldn't go into the pool, but he was like doing so much band working, and he go back and he improved so much, like he was
Okay.
beating everyone. So since that time, I really know how it
Yeah.
works really well. Like if you're doing frequently, like you're doing good job with this.
Yeah.
That's my advice. If you can't swim, actually, sometimes when you do like just swimming, laughing, I think sometimes it's good just like do a little bit different and go back and try it again, and you will feel
Yeah. It'll be
stronger.
interesting if just even because a lot of us have swam all our lives and done a lot of the similar things year on year. Yeah, you always try to change something each season, but it'll be interesting if just that hitting the reset button and refreshing from being out of the water for so long will help change things up and slightly improve technique or strength with the band stuff. So you never know. It'll be a benefit in the long
Yeah,
run.
yeah, definitely. I was I had the two
Yeah.
questions for you, two last questions. And first is say three things you are proud of you have learned as a pro athlete. Like what skills you learned while you were pro athlete, and you're like you are happy that you went away as a pro athlete, and what did you
Um,
learn?
I think definitely independence is probably the biggest thing. I guess I got a little from going away from home for university and being independent, but I guess even starting to travel around the time of sort of university in the past 4 years, you know, the amount of countries that we've been in, the amount of flights, and even getting through airports and train stations and with different languages, not being able to speak the language. Like one of my first solo trips was in Japan. I did a Continental Cup after World University Games, and you're trying to get a train from the airport out to the outskirts of Osaka, and you know it's not like Europe where you can sort of guess what the words are, follow the signs, but you get out of the plane and everything's just symbols. But you know you've no other option other than just work it out and go for it. And you know the skills that you learn being on the road will stand by me um, for everything else. Um, and then I guess at university I did primary education to be a teacher, but I haven't been into
Mm-hmm.
teaching. But I think just even all the different opportunities of traveling the world and seeing so many different countries is something that would be like, beneficial to bring back to teaching afterwards, rather than just going from university straight into a classroom and teaching. So just that sort of life experience and opportunities to see the world is definitely something that I would never have got, um, you know, not doing professional sport. Like I think last year I was on something like 49 flights in the year and 20 different countries. So, you know, that no matter how many holidays you would
Yeah,
want to have
yeah.
in a year, you would never tick off that amount of countries. And
It's crazy that yeah, you have to learn like one is like you might travel like for
yeah,
holidays and something, but you are there for jobs and you are forced to be on
yeah,
point, to be focused, to don't spending too much energy on the stupid stuff, to plan yourself everything. So you have to also be like flexible with all the stress we have before the race or
yeah,
after the race, to, as you said, to manage everything. Yeah, it's a good
yeah. It's
school for
definitely
this.
it's bound to be sort of advantageous in even any jobs after triathlon. Like even just the way your story of China, you know, having to deal with the stress and the adversity and being flexible, um, from flights being cancelled, leading into the race, like changing flights, getting out there, sleepless nights, but
Yeah,
still having to be like 100% focused and keeping sort of
yeah,
your eye on the ball and dealing with all that adversity. Um, so definitely that determination and adversity is something that comes from being a pro athlete. I've definitely learned.
yeah. Perfect,
Yeah,
perfect answer, mate. And the second and last is three things you wanna get better at.
running would help with my triathlon.
It's more skills like I don't know. It does. It's not like running or swimming. Like some kind of skill you would want to improve.
I could definitely improve my
Of like
I could definitely improve
sorry,
my cooking and being more independent. Um,
cooking.
yeah,
Hmm.
just different things like that. I don't know. Is there anything that you would improve, or what?
Right, I would improve everything. Yeah, I don't know. My wife would say that I should do some more
Oh
homeworks
yeah,
at home. So I would like
yeah,
to do that. I would like to, yeah, I would like to start like better to manage like my injuries, like to know what I can do better and stuff. So like listen more my body. That's what
yeah.
I'm learning. And
I think even
yeah,
for me, like now, sometimes you're focused on just like swim, bike, run, strength all the time. But now that there is actually more time, and now that we don't even, there's so many of the small things that you can concentrate on, like even smaller exercises, core,
Yeah,
that you maybe do during the season, but not to the extent of having more time and even sleep and recovery. Uh,
yeah. I think also sleep is one of
yeah,
the things I would
but I
like
think
to more
probably
improve.
the main thing that I've been so lazy with, and always said that I would improve, but never got around to it, is languages. Like
Mm,
I guess there's such um, because everybody sort of speaks English in many different countries, that you nearly get very lazy. Um, Even in schools, like there's not as big an emphasis on learning second languages. We all do it at school. Like growing up, you could do sort of Spanish, French, German, but I definitely didn't take it serious.
you are not forced to like just
Yeah,
talk to that
so I
language.
think having the opportunity, or having being fluent in a second language for me would be definitely something that I would love to improve on. I feel um, quite bad that when you are in the circuit around so many professional athletes, and there's there's quite a few athletes that have far more than just two languages, that it's quite sad that all I can speak is English. So it's definitely something I would like to improve on.
Hmm. Maybe you might race for French team. They're pretty bad with the English, so you would be forced to speak
Yeah,
French
just
more.
be sort of surrounded by it all the time. I think, yeah, I think if I went to France, French is the one language that I learned the most in school. I've definitely forgot most of it, but I think it would, at least I have some of the basics that it might come back there.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep,
perfect. I think we covered
yep.
quite a lot. If you have any question,
No, I think I'm pretty good. That was a good catch up. We haven't talked in a while, so nice to.
yeah, yeah, I know I'm gonna call you, so I was just leaving for
Yeah,
this conversation,
it's,
so it will
yeah,
be
slightly
organic.
different and possibly a bit more PG than it might have been if it wasn't live.
Yeah, yeah, it was great catch up. Hope so you will
Yeah,
do well and
I
say
will.
hi to your mom. Hope so.
Yep,
Best luck for her work and everything. And yeah, we'll catch
definitely.
up
Thank you,
anyway.
and say hello to the.
Yeah,
Keep safe.
have a great. Yeah, thank you very much, and thank you very much for all the
Oh
clothes
yeah, all
for
the knitting.
Isabel,
Yeah, yeah.
for your nanny.
I hope they
Yeah,
still fit and they're good.
yes, she
Okay,
loves them.
no problem.
She's so cool
Yeah,
with that.
yep. Good.
Have a good night.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.